Hey everybody, how are y'all doing on this glorious Wednesday? I hope you're staying cool out there. It's pretty hot down here. By the time it was 8 o'clock, it was already in the middle 80s with the humidity making it feel over 100. And I think it's supposed to got up into the upper 90s with the feel like temperatures over 105. Uh, if you had to work today, I hope you had a good day at work. I hope you stayed cool. Hope you had a good, productive day. Nothing bad happened. If you was off today, I hope you stayed cool. Had a relaxing day at home, whatever you had to do. Um, I saw this on Facebook. It was a post about people who moved from other. It is people that moved from other states that aren't part of the South, and how hard it was to make friends in the South. And they started going toward those cliche answers about, the good old boys club or the church folk or the cliques or, the high school cliques and all that. Uh, now, that system, from the outside looking in, I can see how it would look like we're stuck up or smart alecks or just not are unfriendly, just not wanting to be friends. That's not true. Uh, Once you move to the South and truly get to know us, and you've put in that effort, and you've gotten in good with some friends from the South, you'll find out we're some of the nicest people you've ever met. Now, the best advice I can give somebody that's wanting to either that's going to make a regular occurrence coming to the same place in the South on vacation, or wanting to make business acquisitions to move a business down here, or wanting to move down here. It takes years, and I do mean years, to establish a trust and a bond and making those connections to enter into a friendship. Now, I'm 41 years old. I've lived in the South my whole life. Outside of the 2 years I lived in North Carolina, I've lived in Alabama. Now, like I said, I'm 41. I'm not that old. But it's took 41 good years of my life to have the people that I consider friends or connections. And it's an everyday thing. It's a give and take. You gotta have patience. Because if you're coming down here expecting to make a friendship right off the bat, you're going to have a bad time, rub the people the wrong way, and you're just not going to have friends. Because I got people at church that now I've been to many different churches over the years and everything, and I still got good friends at each one of those churches I still talk to. And I label them my church friends. Church I go to now, I've been there for 3 years. Some of them I went to school with. Some of them I knew as my friends' parents or relatives. Some I've been to other churches with. And so, I had to step in. Some of them I didn't know. But you got to start off patiently. A wave, a smile, a nod of the head. Hey, how are you doing? How's the family doing? You'll hear a lot of, how's your mom and them? Basically asking how is your family and your folks. If you know somebody that's in need, don't be afraid to pitch in, even if you don't know them. Find those connections that'll get the ball rolling. Like with me and my church friends, we got a love for God and everything. That's got the ball rolling in that. I made good friends in that. In fact, I went fishing with two of them this morning. And we caught about a half a bucket of bass. And I got to be even closer to. Now, the one older gentleman that I fished with, I met him through my dad, and I've known him for 25 years. The other guy I've known for right at 3. And our love for fishing has brought us closer as friends. A guy named John, I went to school with him. Now, he's got a functional mental disability. But me and him clicked off as friends because we got a love for video games and a love for horror movies and wrestling. And then there was one guy that my uncle and his dad worked up north together, and they're good friends, and I got to be good friends with him, and they moved back down. His sister changed my diaper when I was a baby. Now, there's times when me and him will talk, times we don't. Times we'll butt heads. And you'd think we'd hate each other's guts, and next thing you know, we're back laughing and joking around with each other. Well, just the other day, it looks like we wanted to kill it. That's just how we are in the South. You get used to that. I back when I used to hunt, I had hunting buddies. I don't go hunting anymore. It's not that I think it's unethical to kill animals. I'm one of those, if you're going to kill an animal, it better be for reasons that you're going to eat the meat and feed your family with. It just got to the point I couldn't afford it no more. All the years of working at Walmart, plus carrying this weight around, just made my knees and my back to the point I just couldn't walk all through that tough terrain no more. But, the point of what I'm trying to say is find those connections. Whether it's for the love of hunting, fishing, religion, it could be cooking, it could be building stuff, it could be for your vehicles, it could be you got a love for certain vehicles, you got to go off-roading or mud riding. Whatever it may be that you can find those, because you're not going to make friends with everybody. But give it some time, be patient, and the right friends will fall. Or the people that you're meant to be friends with will eventually get there. There's some people that I grew up with who I thought I'd be friends with for the rest of my life, who was only in my life for a handful of years, and even though there's still a spot in my heart for them and everything, and there's times where I'm feeling sad and I miss them, but I hope they're doing all right, and I realized that they was only meant to be in my life for a certain period, and we all went our separate ways. That doesn't mean I still don't miss them. But anyway, like I say, I don't want people looking down on the South because it seems like we're unfriendly. We're friendly. You just don't want to come off as over pushy. And then on top of that, if you're going to move to the South, if you ain't already got a truck or an SUV, it would come in handy to have one and put all-terrain tires on it. I don't care if it's a 2-wheel drive or a 4-wheel drive. I don't care if you have plans of going hunting or not. I don't care if you got plans of ever going off-road or mud riding or not. And you were sitting there wondering, why would I need that? Now, all-terrain tires, I'll go through this for people who may not know the difference in tires. You got your regular street tires, that any new vehicle rolling off the lot, on any given day, you see a regular vehicle drive. That's street tires. Now, if you're going to go off-roading in it, riding around on trails, or it snows and gets iced over, you're just, well, y'all people up north know about the snow and ice. Well, them street tires ain't going to be too good off-roading or going through mud, and some of them, depending on what you get, may be good for snow and ice, but, you know, if you do a lot of off-roading, it's going to ruin your street tires quick. And then you got your off-roading tires. That's mainly strictly for off-road, mud riding, snow, ice. But they're not exactly meant for the daily road use. And you will go through the tires quick, and they're expensive, as y'all know. And that's why I say go with all terrains. It doesn't matter if you strictly drive them on the road or you have those occasions where you go off-road. It's not going to hurt the tire either way. Now you can still get your normal use out like you get a regular tire, but it's nice. It's like that old saying, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So, you know, that would come in handy. And then you're also probably thinking, you know, why would you need an SUV or a truck here in the South? Well, a truck more than an SUV, but an SUV is also handy. With a truck, when you're on those times, like let's say you need to haul something and you have a car. Let's say you need to do some repairs to your house. You're moving houses, or a friend or a relative's having to move. Well, that truck's going to come in handy and you're going to make some money. You will make some money moving stuff for people, hauling stuff off, picking up scrap metal, which is a hit and miss on whether you'll do any good on that. But there's always a use for a truck and an SUV to where you can make some extra money with it. And, you know, that down here in the South, there's always a reason to have a truck. But anyway, you know, that's my thoughts for the day. And I will see y'all in the next video.